What are the joys and challenges of Franciscan life? In some ways, I think they go hand in hand, and that, it's like two sides of a coin. I guess the word for me would be humanity. You recognize that not only do you have giftedness and your brothers have giftedness, but just like I have brokenness, my brothers also have brokenness. And so just learning to embrace one another's humanity and seeing one another's giftedness and celebrating that. But also seeing not only my own brokenness, but seeing the brokenness of my brothers and lovingly embrace that and accept it and not necessarily try and to change them, because you really can't change anybody. You can only focus on yourself.
The joys and challenges for me are probably the same thing. Community is a great joy, but it's also very challenging. The friars are made up of men from every different ethnicities, different ages, and being able to relate with them on a personal level can be challenging at times. Living in community, we have wonderful, great times together, but there are times where we butt heads, or we argue, but it always brings us closer, I think, together. We always are able to grow with each other closer.
The greatest challenge is to live up to what we have been entrusted with. And the greatest joy is that the faith of the people is a gift freely given. I realized that was as close on this plane of existence, on earth, that I will ever get to God's unconditional, freely given, omnipresent love. That love that envelops us all and is given without any question. It is given without cost, without condition, without strings. We have only to live up to it. And there's nothing better than that. The only thing that we have to search for, that we have to live up to, is someone's unconditional love for us.
Well, the joys certainly involve being able to work and live with guys that are committed to this life. We all don't have the same vision by a long shot, but when we can share a vision, share bits and pieces of our vision, and when they overlap, there's a lot of joy in that. Sharing my ministry with them, that's a real source of joy for me. And then our Franciscan heritage is another great joy.
Living in community, it's joy that we're able to live together, work together, ministering together, and share together, and eat together, pray together. It's joy. There are moments that come as a surprise where I'll be sitting somewhere and I'll just realize, how cool is this that I'm a part of this? We meet so many different people, we go in so many different places, people open their lives to us in ways. There are moments where you're like, this just could not happen any other way but in this life. And it's those cool moments that are the joys for me. The sorrows are, I'm finding this life to change very quickly and drastically. When I was a postulant and a novice, I thought I was very sure what Franciscan life was going to be like. What I'm learning now is I have to relearn that almost on a day-to-day basis. What I do have is prayer and brothers. That's the consistent, that's the thing that pulls me through it. That's the hard part for me though. The amount of change, the amount of just uncertainty, it really causes me to trust God, trust my brothers, and to pray through it, which I'm not always good at.
I think that will be the poverty, the lowliness that we have. It's not the financial or the physical poverty, but also spiritual and social, and those all kind of poverty that we have. And I think that poverty make joy, the from God, not from the material world. The challenges for me is become a peacemaker. As Francis, my question is, do I still love the person who is opposed me, and can I love them, or at least can I try it? And I think that's a really hard thing to manage it, that love my enemy. It's just, word is simple and simple teaching, but it's really tough.
For me, one of the biggest joys is knowing that in Franciscan life, this way of life that I'm learning to live, that it's a way of life that helps people. That I'm living my life in a way that brings love and compassion into the lives of those people who are living on the fringes of society, the most marginalized, the poorest of the poor, the places where love is most in need. And to me, there's really a joy and consolation in knowing that my life is bigger than myself, that life has more of a meaning than just fulfilling my own or seeking out my own desires and plans in life. The challenge is that I'm the sort of person that has a tendency to look ahead into the future, maybe too much, focus on the future. And when I look into the future, I think, right now things are going well, but what's going to happen 10 years down the road from now, or 20 years? What's it going to be like when I have to live in some place that I hate, or maybe live with friars that it is not easy for me to connect with, or do some kind of work that I don't really enjoy doing, or maybe I'm overworked? What's it going to look like when I have those kind of challenges in my life? Am I still going to be able to find joy and peace in Franciscan life? And I kind of feel like I'm stepping out on a limb, to make that commitment now. I feel like I'm stepping out on a limb, but I know that it's really a matter of placing my life in the hands of God and understanding and trusting that God is going to be walking there along with me and to carry me along when I need it in the future. But that's still a challenge. It's still a challenge that I face on a daily basis.